Hello, year 3. Okay, lesson 7 from How to Train Your Dragon by Crescenda Cow. Now, continued Gobber more calmly, although that was an absolute mess, it wasn't a total disaster. I presume that you all do have a dragon after that fiasco? Yes, chorused the boys. Fishlegs took a sideways glance at Hiccup, who was staring straight ahead. Lucky for you, said Gobber ominously. So you have all passed the first part of the dragon test. There are, however, still 2 parts that you have to complete. So do you think Gobber was worried about the boys? And why do you think that? Is there anything in the last chapter that has actually made you think, do you know what? I think he was quite worried. Before you can become full members of the tribe, your next task will be to train this dragon yourself. This will be a test of the force of your personality. You will assert your will over this wild creature and show it who is master. Your dragon will be expected to obey simple commands such as go and stay and hunt fish for you in the way that dragons have hunted for the sons of Thor since anyone can remember. If you are worried about the training process, you should study a book called How to Train Your Dragon by Professor Yobbish, which you will find in the fireplace of the Great Hall. Suddenly, Gobber looked very pleased with himself. I stole that book from Meathead Public Library myself, he said modestly, regarding his very black fingernails, from right under the nose of the hairy, scary librarian. He never noticed a thing. Now that's burglary for you. Warty Hog put up his hand. What happens if we can't read, sir? No boasting, Warty Hog, boomed Gobber. Get some idiot to read it for you. Your dragons will begin to go. So, can you explain the joke about Warthog not being able to read? Your dragons will begin to go back to sleep because this is still their hibernation time. Some of the dragons had indeed gone very quiet inside the baskets. So take them home and put them in a warm place. They should wake up in the next couple of weeks. You will then have 4 months to prepare for Initiation Day at Thor's Day Thursday celebrations and the final part of your test. If on that day, you can prove that you have trained your dragon to the satisfaction of myself and the other elders of the tribe, you can finally call yourself a hooligan of Berk. The boys stood very tall and tried to look like proper hooligans. Heroes or exile, yelled Gobber the Belch. Heroes or exile, yelled the 8 boys frantically back at him. Exile, thought Hiccup and Fishlegs sadly. I hate being a Viking, panted Fishlegs to Hiccup as they stumbled back through the bracken to the hooligan village. You didn't really walk on the island of Berk. You waded through heather or bracken or mud or snow that clung onto your legs and made them difficult to lift. It was a sort of country where the sea and the land were always falling into one another and getting mixed up. The land was shot through with holes burrowed by the water, a maze of crisscrossing underground streams. You could put your foot on a solid-looking piece of grass and find yourself disappearing up to your thigh in black, sticky mud. You could be making your way through the ferns and suddenly find yourself fording a river waist-high and icy cold. The boys were already soaked to the skin with the seawater, and now that the snow had turned to horizontal driving rain, blowing in their faces with the strength of one of the gale-force winds that were always shrieking across the salty wastelands of Berk. A narrow escape from horrible death first thing on a Thursday morning, complained Fishlegs, followed by complete rejection by the junior half of the tribe. Nobody's going to talk to me for years after this. So which words and phrases describe Berk? You might want to write them down, or you could print this page out and then just highlight them. Except for you, of course, Hiccup, but then you're just a weirdo like me. Thank you, said Hiccup. And on top of everything, continued Fishlegs bitterly, a 2-mile run carrying a deranged dragon on my back. The basket on Fishlegs' back was plunging wildly from side to side as the dragon inside tried manically to get out. And only a dinner of horrible limpets to look forward to at the end of it. Hiccup agreed that it wasn't a delicious prospect. You can have this dragon back if you like, Hiccup. I warn you, they're filthy heavy when they're wet and cross, said Fishlegs miserably. Gobber is going to go off like a typhoon when he finds out you haven't got a dragon. But I have got one, said Hiccup. Describe the relationship between Fishlegs and Hiccup. Do you think they're friends? Do you think they're not friends? Do you think they look after each other? What kind of relationship have they got? And imagine you were on holiday on Burke. Can you write a postcard home to your family, thinking about all the description of what it is actually like on Burke, what the weather's like, and what you might have to do to survive there? Can you send a postcard home to your family? Right then, year 3, that's the end of that lesson, and we'll see you soon.